Hello class, my name is Andrew DeColi. Imagine having a 3-year-old daughter on the way home from the shore having panic attack-like symptoms and not knowing what to do. Her heart's racing, she has rapid breathing, you smell a fruity scent in the air. So you panic and you don't know what to do. So what to do is figure out what it is, because if it's type 1 diabetes, you might be doing the wrong things. In some cases where that happens, a parent might think, oh my God, let's give them something to drink or eat. Well, if it is diabetes, that's the case, you're doing the wrong thing. Giving them something like orange juice, for example, will raise their blood sugar and just make the panic attack even worse. When having type 1 diabetes, there are things that you have to do that will change your life forever. You have to prick your finger almost every day after every meal to get your blood. You have to have a pod of insulin and reattach it at least three times a week. And it just makes dietary plans harder, getting pregnant a lot harder. It brings a lot of difficulties. As you can see, scientists have said that type 1 diabetes is a very unknown disease. Well, scientists believe that it can come from an environmental cause as well as a genetic cause. It is also very uncommon. It only happens to 5% of the people that have diabetes. Oh, I should say, I'm sorry. 5% of the people that have diabetes have type 1 diabetes, as well as it mostly affects people of ages 20 or younger. Here we will go over the symptoms. There's some subtle symptoms on the right, things that you may not, can be kind of scary because it might seem regular, but it could be diabetes. You have dry mouth, fatigue, which is feeling very sore and tired throughout your body, blurred vision, abdominal pain, nausea and occasional vomiting, increased hunger and thirst. So extreme symptoms, and these symptoms are what happened to what I explained at first, things that seem really scary and you don't know what to do. That abdominal pain is also in this category, but very, very extreme. You have a fruity smell of breath in your air, which is a noticeable scent in someone's breath, Shaking and confusion, which is what makes it seem like a panic attack because you're very shaky and also confused. Rapid breathing, and loss of consciousness, although this is very rare and does not usually happen. So, we've gone over the symptoms and kind of like how it affects people, but people must think, it's so rare, is there anything that can help or fund this cause? In fact, there is. It is called the JDRF, which is the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. It's the leading organization funding type 1 diabetes research, as well as it has been funding since 1970, which is almost about 40 years. 17 countries have research projects that have totaled to $530 million, which is really big. Right here is the most interesting fact. More than 8% of funds go to research regarding juvenile diabetes. And I would like to let you guys know that out of all the funds and researches that are in the world, is one of the highest. That is one of the only ones that goes more than 8%. A good percent of people in this organization have personal experience. That means fathers, daughters, friends, people who want to help because they know how hard it is and how tough it is for the person, everyone around them, to, experience this dreadful disease. I want to let you guys visualize something, and this is honestly something that is personal to me. That 3-year-old daughter I was explaining earlier was my girlfriend when she was 3 years old. She was rushed to the hospital, and her mother was giving her orange juice to see if it would help. And it's really scary to me because who knows, she could have died because they had no idea of diabetes. Not that it was their fault, but she could have died at that moment. She'd been having it since she was 3, and having it when you're 3 is very rare. In most cases, it happens when you're born with juvenile diabetes, and it's genetic. She had it when she was 3 years old, which is very, very uncommon. She's been living with it most of her life, though. She has, with the help of her friends and family, as well as myself, she plays basketball, and she's the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. So she's really done a tremendous job, focusing on her, insulin and her dietary plan. And I think it's important for you guys to visualize that. You might not even notice someone has diabetes, someone that takes care of themselves so well. But I want you to visualize someone who doesn't take care of themselves. This person could eat unhealthy a lot and eat maybe how you do, which is, maybe you guys may not have the best plans, not saying anything, but for someone with diabetes, type 1 or even type 2, it's important because people can lose limbs due to it. I mean, people with diabetes, their circulation to their feet and hands, which usually go first, isn't as good, their blood flow. So eating unhealthy and having too much, sugars and, without the insulin, it can cause body parts to literally lose feeling, go numb. There's a story where a guy with type 2 diabetes was taking a shower with too hot water because he couldn't feel his legs. And he had to get his legs amputated because he had 30-degree burn all over his legs. He didn't feel a thing because he had an unhealthy dietary plan. Now, many of you are probably thinking, what can you do to help this cause? And I recommend this. Step Out. So the Step Out program is a donation walk for diabetes. My girlfriend and I have been doing it for a long time, especially with her recent family members that have been produced with diabetes. For the past 20 years, it has been saying, with 175 million it has been raised throughout the whole 20 years, which is pretty good. Last year alone it raised $24 million, which is very good. Now teams, if you want to know how you can form a team for this, teams can range from 2 to as many as you want. Whether it's your family, your friends, your school, your co-workers, it ranges everywhere. And it's really a great cause. It's a lot of fun. There's usually food, music, dancing. It's great. It really is. To visit, you can visit this URL right here, and it will, it will take you to the main the main page, so you can see how to form a team, how to get involved. But yeah, so type 1 diabetes is really scary. I mean, I plan to take care of my girlfriend, I really love her, and I'm willing to do anything it takes, which includes getting up at 3 in the morning every night to check on her, give her some sugars in case her blood sugar is low. I mean, I know a lot of this from personal experience, and it's really scary. So please, step out and work for a cure for diabetes. We'd all really appreciate it. Thank you.